Let me guess, you're in your 30s and you're tired. You're juggling a career that pays okay but not great. Maybe a spouse, maybe kids. Definitely bills that keep getting bigger. You look at your bank account and think, I'm doing everything right, so why am I not getting ahead? Your 20s were about figuring things out. Your 30s? They're about making money moves that actually stick. Here's the truth most people learn too late. Your 30s are the most critical decade for wealth building. You've got experience, skills, and just enough time to compound serious wealth before life gets even more expensive. Machiavelli said fortune favors those who act decisively. Apply his ruthless principles to your 30s, and you can build more wealth in this decade than most people build in a lifetime. Stay with me for the next 40 minutes. By the end, you'll have a clear, executable roadmap to get rich in your 30s, even if you're starting from zero right now. Point 1. Get rid of your high-interest debt fast. It's killing your future. Machiavelli said a prince can't build an empire while his own castle is on fire. In your 30s, credit card debt at 20% interest is that fire, and it's burning up all your money. All right, let's talk about something that's probably stressing you out right now. Debt. Specifically, credit card debt or personal loans with crazy high interest rates. If you're carrying balances on credit cards that charge you 18%, 22%, 25% interest, you need to understand something. You're not building wealth. You're making banks rich while staying broke yourself. Here's what most people don't realize. Let's say you've got $10,000 on a credit card and they're charging you 22% interest. You're making the minimum payment every month, maybe $200. Feels responsible, right? Wrong. At that rate, it's going to take you over 7 years to pay that thing off. And you know how much you'll pay in interest alone? Almost $8,000. So you're paying $18,000 total for $10,000 worth of stuff. And honestly, you probably don't even remember what you bought with half of it. That's not a payment plan. That's basically giving away your future, 1 month at a time. And in your 30s, you don't have time to waste like this anymore. Your 20s were for making mistakes and figuring life out. Your 30s are when you fix those mistakes and start building real wealth. The average person in their 30s in America has about $6,000 in credit card debt. Some people have way more, $15,000, $25,000, even $40,000 spread across multiple cards. And they're all making minimum payments, thinking they're handling it. But they're not. They're slowly drowning. Let me tell you about David. He's 32, lives in Charlotte, North Carolina, works as a project manager making $68,000 a year. Pretty good income for his area. But David had racked up $22,000 in credit card debt over about 5 years. It wasn't from anything crazy. Some repairs on his house after he bought it, a car emergency, his wedding, some stuff he bought when he got promotions at work. You know, life stuff. He was making minimum payments every month, about $550 total across 4 different cards. He thought he was being responsible, but one day he actually sat down and did the math. At the pace he was going, he wouldn't be debt-free until he was 42 years old. That's 10 years from now, and he would pay over $18,000 just in interest. When he saw those numbers, something in him snapped. He said, "Nah, I'm done with this. I'm not spending the next decade of my life paying banks." So David got aggressive. Here's what he did, and here's what you can do too. First, he called every single credit card company. He just picked up the phone and said, "Hey, I'm having a tough time keeping up with payments, and I'm thinking about doing a balance transfer to another card. Can you lower my interest rate?" And you know what? 2 out of 4 companies actually said yes. They dropped his rate a few percentage points. Not a massive difference, but every little bit helps when you're trying to get out of debt. Next, David applied for what's called a balance transfer credit card. These cards give you 0% interest for a certain period, usually 12 to 18 months. He got approved for one with 18 months of 0% interest. He moved $12,000 of his highest interest debt onto this new card. Yeah, there was a small fee, about 3%, but that's way better than paying 25% interest for another year and a half. This move stopped the bleeding. Now at least some of his debt wasn't growing anymore. Then David made a battle plan. He wrote down all his debts, in order from highest interest rate to lowest. He had one card that was charging him 24.99%, almost 25%, with $10,000 still on it. That became his target. Enemy number one! He decided to keep making minimum payments on everything else, but throw every extra dollar he could find at that 25% card. And here's where David got creative about finding extra money. He started doing consulting work on weekends. He's good at project management, so he helped small businesses organize their projects. Made him an extra $200 a month. He also had a motorcycle sitting in his garage that he barely rode anymore. Sold it for $3,500. He cut back on eating out, started meal prepping on Sundays instead of grabbing lunch every day at work. Saved probably another $300 a month. He and his wife decided to skip their annual vacation that year and put that money toward debt instead. Was it fun? Now, did it suck sometimes? Yeah, but David stayed focused. 9 months later, that $10,000 card with the 25% interest was completely paid off. Gone. David said when he made that final payment, he literally felt like a weight lifted off his shoulders. Then he took all that momentum and attacked the next card with the same intensity. By month 18, when his balance transfer card's 0% period was about to end, he had paid off $18,000 of the original $22,000. He knocked out the last $4,000 in 3 more months after that. Total time from start to finish, 21 months. Less than 2 years. David went from $22,000 in debt to completely debt-free. And here's the best part. That $550 he was sending to credit card companies every single month, now it goes straight into investments. 2 years after becoming debt-free, David has $30,000 invested in index funds and $15,000 in emergency savings. Same job, same income, completely different financial life, all because he decided to get aggressive about killing his debt. So here's how you do this. Here's your step-by-step plan. Step 1. Tonight, make your debt list. Get a piece of paper or open a note on your phone. Write down every debt you have. Every credit card, every personal loan, every car loan if the interest is over 7%. Write the name, how much you owe, what interest rate they're charging you, and what your minimum payment is. Circle anything that's over 10% interest. Those are your targets. Step 2. This week, call every single one of those credit card companies. Just call the number on the back of the card. When someone answers, say, "I'm struggling a bit financially and I'm considering transferring my balance to another card. Is there any way you can lower my interest rate?" You'd be surprised how often they'll work with you, especially if you've been making your payments on time. Step 3. Apply for one balance transfer card. Look for ones that offer 0% interest for 12 to 18 months. Cards like Chase Slate, Citi Simplicity, or Discover It usually have these offers. Move your highest interest debt to that card. Yes, they'll charge you a small fee, usually 3% to 5%, but that's nothing compared to paying 20% plus for another year. Step 4. Set all your minimum payments on autopay. Link them to your checking account and have them automatically pay right after your paycheck hits. This way you never miss a payment, which would hurt your credit score and add late fees. Step 5. Choose your attack method. You've got 2 options. The avalanche method means you attack the highest interest rate first. This saves you the most money mathematically. The snowball method means you attack the smallest balance first. This gives you quick wins to keep you motivated. Either one works. Just pick one and stick with it. Personally, I'd say in your 30s, go with avalanche because every dollar of interest you save is a dollar you can invest later. Step 6. Find extra money and attack that debt. Sell stuff you're not using, old electronics, tools, furniture, clothes, whatever. Pick up some extra work on the side doing something you're already good at. Cut expenses for a little while. Cook at home, cancel subscriptions you don't really use. Skip the vacation this year. Every extra dollar goes to your target debt. Step 7. When you pay off that first card, celebrate by rolling that payment into the next debt. Don't celebrate by spending money. Keep the momentum going. Here's your timeline. If you've got under $10,000 in high-interest debt, you should be able to kill it in 12 months if you're aggressive. If you've got $10,000 to $25,000, aim for 18 to 24 months. If you've got more than $25,000, Use those balance transfer cards to restructure what you can, then attack the highest rates hard within 12 months and finish the rest within 3 years max. And here's something important. You can't invest your way out of 20% interest debt. The stock market averages about 10% per year over the long term. Your debt is costing you 20% plus. You're losing money by trying to do both at the same time. So the priority in your 30s is kill high-interest debt first, then invest aggressively. That's the order. Don't try to do both unless your debt is under 7% interest. Machiavelli taught that a prince who gets rid of his enemies quickly and decisively becomes more powerful. Your high-interest debt is your enemy. It's stealing your future, stressing you out and keeping you stuck in place. You need to eliminate it with everything you've got. Get mad about it. Get focused. Attack it like your financial freedom depends on it, because it does. Once it's gone, you'll feel lighter. You'll have money freed up every month. You'll be ready to actually start building wealth. But until it's gone, you're just spinning your wheels. Start today. Make that debt list. Make those phone calls. Apply for that balance transfer. Find ways to make extra money. Attack. In 12 to 24 months, you can be completely free and ready to build real wealth. That's how you start getting rich in your 30s, by breaking the chains that are holding you back first. Point 2. Get the free money from your job. It's right. There, Machiavelli said, grab the easy wins first. Your job is offering you free money right now, and you're probably not taking it. Okay, this is going to sound crazy, but hear me out. Your job is trying to give you free money every month, and most people just ignore it. I'm talking about your 401k match. Here's how it works in simple terms. Most companies will give you extra money if you put some of your paycheck into a retirement account called a 401k. Usually they match 50 cents for every dollar you put in, up to a certain amount. Real numbers. Let's say you make $60,000 a year. If you put 6% into your 401k, that's $3,600 a year, or $300 a month. Your company will throw in another $1,800 for free. That's $1,800 you get just for participating. It's literally free money, but so many people don't do it. They think I can't afford it, or I'll start later. Meanwhile, they're spending 100 pleurs on stuff they don't need. They're leaving free money on the table. Let me tell you about Nicole. She's 34, nurse in Phoenix, makes $72,000. Her hospital said, "We'll match dollar for dollar the first 4% you put in." That's free $2,880 every year. But she wasn't putting anything in, zero. Why? Student loans, rent, car payment. She thought she couldn't afford it. She was going to start when things got easier. One day her co-worker showed her, if you put in $240 a month, the hospital gives you another $240. Over 30 years, that turns into $500,000. Nicole almost cried when she saw that number. She'd already missed 3 years of free money. She signed up that night. Her paycheck went down by about $190 after taxes. That's it. Less than $200, she barely noticed it. 2 years later, she's got $45,000 saved up, and her employer gave her like $15,000 of it for free. Here's what you do. Go to your work website where you check your pay stubs. Find the section about benefits or retirement. Sign up for the 401k. Put in at least enough to get the full company match. If they match up to 6%, put in 6%. That's it. Set it to automatically increase 1% every year. You won't even notice, but you'll be saving more over time. Now let's talk about a Roth IRA. This is another retirement account you open yourself. You put money in, already taxed. It grows, and when you retire, you take it out tax-free. You can put up to $7,000 a year in 2025. Why it's good? Let's say you put $400 a month into a Roth IRA starting at age 32. By age 65, you'll have put in about $158,000 of your money, but it'll grow to over $600,000, and you don't pay taxes on any of that growth. That's huge. Go to Fidelity or Vanguard online. Open a Roth IRA. Takes 10 minutes. Set it to automatically take $200 or $300 or whatever from your checking account every month. Next, HSA, Health Savings Account. If you have a high deductible health insurance, Most people do to save money on premiums. You can open this. Here's why it's amazing. Money goes in tax-free. It grows tax-free. You take it out tax-free if you use it for medical stuff. It's the best tax deal in America. Most people use it wrong. They put money in and immediately take it out to pay doctor bills. That's okay, but you're missing the magic. Better way. Pay your doctor bills from your regular checking account. Keep the receipts. Let your HSA money sit and grow for 20, 30 years. You can pay yourself back anytime. Meanwhile, it's growing tax-free. Tom in Seattle did this. Put $300 a month into his HSA, invested it, paid his medical bills out of pocket. After 10 years, he had $52,000 in there. By retirement, it could be $200,000 tax-free. That's powerful. Company stock. Some jobs let you buy company stock at a discount, like 15% off. That's a good deal. Buy it and sell it quick. Take the profit, but don't keep all your money in your company's stock. If the company has problems, you lose your job and your savings. That's terrible. Sell the stock and put the money in regular index funds instead. Your simple action plan. This week, sign up for your 401k at work. Get the full match. Open a Roth IRA online. Set up automatic monthly deposits. If you can, open an HSA and start putting money in. 4. Automate everything so it happens without you thinking about it. These aren't exciting. Nobody's gonna congratulate you. But in 20 years when you've got money and your friends don't, you'll be glad you started. The government created these accounts to help people save. If you're not using them, you're making it harder on yourself. Start this week. Get that free money from your job. Open those accounts. Make it automatic. That's how normal people actually build wealth, not by gambling, but by taking the free money and letting time do the work. If this is helping you see a clear path forward, do me a favor and hit that like button. It actually helps this video reach more people in their 30s who need this exact roadmap. All right, let's keep going. Point 3. Save up cash for emergencies. You need a safety net. Machiavelli said kingdoms fall when they run out of supplies. In your 30s, having cash saved is what keeps you alive when things go wrong. All right, let's talk about something super important that most people mess up. You need cash. Real cash sitting in a bank account. Not invested, not in crypto, just regular money you can access immediately when life punches you in the face. Because here's the thing, in your 30s, stuff goes wrong all the time. Your car breaks down, your kid gets sick, your hours get cut at work, your water heater dies, your dog needs emergency surgery. Life doesn't care that you're trying to get ahead. And if you don't have cash saved up, every one of these problems sends you straight back into credit card debt. About 40% of Americans can't cover a $1,000 emergency without borrowing money or using a credit card. That's scary, because $1,000 emergencies happen constantly. And if you can't handle them, you're stuck in a cycle. You get out of debt, then an emergency happens, you go back into debt, repeat forever. So here's what you need. 6 to 9 months of expenses saved in cash. I know that sounds like a lot, but let me explain. First, figure out how much money you need every month just to survive. I'm talking basics: rent or mortgage, groceries, gas, insurance, utilities, minimum payments on any debts. Not Netflix, not eating out, not vacations. Just what you need to keep the lights on and food on the table. Write that number down. Let's say it's $3,000 a month for this example. If you've got 2 people working in your household and no kids, multiply by 6. That's $18,000. That's your target. If you're the only one working, or you have kids, or your job is unpredictable like commission sales or gig work, multiply by 9 instead. That's $27,000. I know you're thinking, that's impossible. I can't save that much. But this is what protects you. This is what keeps you from going backwards every time something breaks. Let me tell you about Lisa. She's 35, lives in Tampa, works in HR making $62,000. She thought she was doing fine. She paid her bills. She had about $800 in savings. Then her dog got really sick. Emergency vet surgery, $2,800. 2 weeks later, Her car needed new brakes and tires, $100. She didn't have the money. Everything went on her credit card. Now she's got $4,000 in new debt. She's stressed, and she's starting from zero again. That's what happens when you don't have a safety net. One bad month destroys everything. Now let me tell you about Marcus. He's 33, lives in Indianapolis, makes $58,000 in logistics. 2 years ago, he had zero savings. But he set up something smart. Every Friday after his paycheck came in, $150 automatically moved from his checking account to a separate savings account at a different bank. He never saw it. It just happened. Some weeks were tight, but he adjusted. He stopped eating lunch out every day. He canceled subscriptions he wasn't using. He made it work. After 1 year, Marcus had $7,800 saved. After 2 years, $1,600. Then his car's transmission died, $2,400 to fix. Before, that would have destroyed him. He would have put it on a credit card and spent months paying it off with interest. But now, he just pulled $2,400 from his emergency fund, paid cash and kept going. His savings went down to $13,200, but he just kept his automatic transfer going and built it back up. That's the difference. Life still happens, but it doesn't wreck you anymore. Here's how you build your emergency fund. Step 1. Open a separate savings account at a different bank than your checking account. Use an online bank like Ali, Marcus, or Discover. They pay you around 4 or 5% interest, which is way better than regular banks that pay basically nothing. Keep it separate so you're not tempted to spend it. Step 2. Set up an automatic transfer every week right after you get paid. Even if you start with just $50 or $100 a week, do it. $100 a week is $5,200 in a year. $200 a week is $10,400 in a year. The key is it has to be automatic. Don't rely on yourself to remember. Step 3. Make little buckets for stuff you know is coming. Car maintenance. You know you'll need tires and oil changes. Save $50 a month for that. Insurance that you pay twice a year. Save for it monthly so it's not a shock. Medical stuff. Save for your deductible. Christmas and birthdays. Save for them every month. These aren't really emergencies. They're just stuff that happens every year that people treat like emergencies because they didn't plan. Step 4. Don't touch this money unless it's a real emergency. Not for a vacation. Not for a new TV. Not because you want to eat out. Only for actual emergencies. Car breaks, medical bills, job loss, stuff breaks in your house. Let me give you a timeline. If you can save $200 a week, you'll have $10,400 in a year. Keep going for 18 months and you'll have $15,600. That's a solid emergency fund for most people. Want to hit it faster? Sell some stuff you're not using. Do some extra work for a few months. Cut back on expenses temporarily. Get aggressive for 12-18 months to build this up. Then you can relax. Now, people always ask me, should I save for emergencies or pay off debt first? Here's my answer. If you have high-interest debt like credit cards over 15%, pay that off hard while saving a small emergency fund of $1,000, $2,000 at the same time. Once the high-interest debt is gone, then build your full 6 to 9 month emergency fund. If your debt is lower interest under 7%, build your emergency fund first while making minimum payments on the debt. Why? Because if you put every dollar toward debt and then have an emergency, you're just going to go right back into debt. You need the cash cushion to break that cycle. Here's what your emergency fund gives you. Options, power, peace of mind. When your car breaks, you handle it without stress. When you get laid off, you have time to find a good job instead of taking the first thing out of desperation. When your kid breaks their arm, you focus on them instead of panicking about money. When the air conditioner dies in August, you fix it without going into debt. You become the calm person in the room when everyone else is freaking out. That's worth everything. Now here's the rule. Once your emergency fund is fully loaded with 6 to 9 months of expenses, then you switch gears. That automatic weekly transfer? Now you redirect it to investing. Now you max out your Roth IRA. Now you boost your 401k. Now you put money in index funds, but not before. Foundation first. Safety net first, then growth. I know saving isn't exciting. Nobody's going to give you a trophy for having $20,000 in a savings account. Your friends won't even know about it. But when life hits, and it will hit, you'll be the one who's ready. You'll be the one who doesn't panic. You'll be the one who doesn't go backwards. Machiavelli taught that the strongest kingdoms are the ones that can survive a siege. They have food stored. They have supplies. They have reserves. In your 30s, your emergency fund is your reserve. It's what keeps you standing when life tries to knock you down. Start this week. Open that separate savings account. Set up that automatic transfer. Even if it's small to start, just start. In 1 year, you'll have real money. In 2 years, you'll have serious protection. And when that inevitable emergency comes, you'll handle it like a pro instead of drowning like everyone else. That's how you build real security in your 30s. Not by hoping nothing goes wrong, but by being ready when it does. Point 4. Make extra money on the side. Don't rely on just your job. Machiavelli warned, never depend on one ally. In your 30s, having only one income source is dangerous, and you need to fix that. All right, here's the truth. Your job is not your security. It's actually your biggest risk. Companies lay people off. Industries change. Bosses leave and new ones come in. You could be doing great one day and unemployed the next. And if 100% of your money comes from one job, you're one bad day away from being in serious trouble. In your 30s, you need multiple ways to make money. Not because you're greedy, because you're smart, because you're protecting yourself and your family. Now I know what you're thinking. I'm already busy. I've got a job, maybe kids, a spouse, responsibilities. When am I supposed to find time to make extra money? I get it. Your 30s are busy, but that's exactly why you need to be strategic about this. You don't need to start some complicated business. You don't need to work 80 hours a week. You just need to take what you already know how to do and sell it to people who need it. Let me tell you about Eric. He's 36, lives in Denver, works as an operations manager making $74,000. Good job. But Eric realized something smart. His company pays him to organize and improve business processes. Other companies need that too. So Eric created one simple offer: 90-day operations audit plus efficiency plan for $30,500. He'd come in, look at how a small business runs, find ways to save them money and time, and give them a clear plan to fix it. He reached out to 10 small manufacturing companies in the Denver area, just sent them emails explaining what he does. 3 said yes. That's $10,500 in 90 days. He did the work on Tuesday and Thursday nights after his kids went to bed, and Saturday mornings. Took him maybe 10 hours a week total. He didn't quit his day job. He didn't burn himself out. He just used his existing skills to help businesses that needed what he was good at. Within a year, Eric was making an extra $3,000 to $4,000 every month on the side. That extra money covered his mortgage. Now his entire day job salary goes to saving and investing. He's building wealth fast because he's got 2 income streams instead of 1. Here's the key. You already have skills that people will pay for. You just don't realize it yet. What can you sell? If you manage projects at work, other companies need project management help. If you do bookkeeping, small businesses need their books cleaned up. If you're good with spreadsheets and data, companies need dashboards and reports. If you know social media, local businesses need someone to run their Instagram or Facebook. If you can edit videos, content creators need editors. If you know how to run ads, businesses will pay you to manage their Facebook or Google ads. You don't need to learn something brand new. You just need to package what you already do at work into something you can sell. Here's how to do it. Step 1. Pick one skill. Just one. Don't try to offer 10 different things. Pick the one thing you're best at or that you know people need. Step 2. Create one clear offer. Not, I'll help with whatever you need. That's too vague. Make it specific with a clear result and timeline. Examples: 2-week dashboard setup for your sales data, $1,500. Monthly bookkeeping cleanup plus financial report, $1,000 month. 12 short-form videos per month for Instagram, TikTok, $1,200 month lead generation. Ad campaign setup Plus management, $2,000 setup Pew Plus, $500 month. See how those are specific. Clear result, clear timeline, clear price. Step 3. Find people who need it. Start with people you already know. Past co-workers, people in your LinkedIn network, friends of friends who own small businesses. Send them a simple message. Hey, I'm helping type of business with specific problem. Thought you might know someone who needs this. Also do cold outreach. Find 20 small businesses in your area that fit your offer. Email them. Most won't respond. Some will say no. But if even 2 or 3 say yes, you're making money. Step 4. Time box your work. This is crucial. Don't let side work take over your life. Pick specific times and stick to them. Maybe Tuesday and Thursday nights from 8-10 p.m. after kids are in bed. Saturday mornings from 8 a.m. noon. Whatever works for you. Time box it so it doesn't bleed into family time. Step 5. Use systems to work faster. Create templates for everything. If you're doing bookkeeping, make a standard process you follow every time. If you're making videos, use the same editing workflow. Don't reinvent the wheel for every client. Systems let you deliver faster and make more money per hour. Step 6. Raise your prices as you get good. When you're starting, charge less to get testimonials and experience. But once you've done it 5 or 10 times and you're getting results, raise your prices 20-30%. If people are saying yes easily, you're probably undercharging. Let me tell you about Rachel. She's 34. Works full-time as a marketing coordinator in Austin, making $58,000. On the side, she started managing Instagram for local coffee shops and boutiques. She charges $800 a month per client. She's got 4 clients. That's $3,200 extra every month. She spends about 10 hours a week total on all 4 clients combined. She uses templates for posts, scheduling tools to batch everything, and clear systems so it doesn't take forever. That $3,200 extra covers her rent and car payment. Her entire day job income goes to savings and investments now. Rachel didn't quit her job. She didn't work herself to death. She just took a skill she already had and sold it to businesses that needed it. Your realistic income targets. In your first 90 days, aim for $500 to $1,000 extra per month. Just get 1 or 2 small clients to prove you can do it. By 6 months, aim for $1,000, $2,000 per month. Build up to 3 to 5 clients or projects. By 12 months, aim for $2,000, $3,000 per month. At this point, you've got systems. You're faster, you're charging more, and it's running smoothly. That extra $2,000, $3,000 per month changes everything. That's $24,000, $36,000 extra per year. That covers your housing. Or it goes straight to investments. Or it pays off debt in months instead of years. And here's the best part, you're not vulnerable anymore. If you lose your day job, you've got income from your side clients to keep you afloat while you find a new job. You're not desperate. You've got options. That's power. Common mistakes to avoid. Don't try to do too many different things. Pick one offer and get good at it. Don't undercharge forever. Raise your prices as you get better. Don't let it take over your life. Time box your work and protect your family time. Don't neglect your day job. Do your side work well, but don't burn bridges at your main job. But what if you fail? What if you reach out to 20 businesses and nobody says yes? Then you adjust your offer, your pricing, or who you're reaching out to. You learn and try again. The worst that happens is you're in the exact same spot you're in now, one income source. But if you don't try at all, you'll definitely stay stuck with just one income forever. Machiavelli taught that princes who rely on one source of power are weak. Princes who have multiple alliances and resources are strong. Same with your income. One source makes you weak and vulnerable. Multiple sources make you strong and secure. In your 30s, you've got skills. You've got experience. You know how to do things that other people need. Stop leaving money on the table. Package what you know. Reach out to people who need it. Time box your work so it doesn't kill you. And build a second income stream that gives you security and options. Start this week. Pick your skill. Write down your offer. Reach out to 10 people. See what happens. In 90 days, you could be making an extra $1,000 a month. In a year, $3,000 a month. That's how people in their 30s actually build wealth, not by working themselves to death, but by strategically stacking income streams that compound over time. Point 5. Invest smart and protect what you build. Make your money. Machiavelli said a wise prince doesn't gamble, he calculates and protects his power. In your 30s, you need a simple investment system that works while you sleep. All right, we've talked about killing debt, grabbing free money from your job, saving cash for emergencies, and making extra income. Now let's talk about what to do with all that money you're building up. You need to invest it. But here's the thing. Investing in your 30s needs to be simple and boring. You don't have time for complicated strategies or gambling. No day trading. No meme stocks. No going all in on crypto because your cousin said it's going to the moon. You're building wealth for your family's future. You can't afford to mess this up. Here's what works. Put your money in index funds and leave it alone for 20-30 years. That's it. That's the whole strategy. What's an index fund? It's basically a basket that holds hundreds or thousands of different companies. When you buy one share of an index fund, you own a tiny piece of hundreds of companies all at once. If some companies do bad, others do good, and overall you make money over time. The most popular one is the S&P 500 Index Fund. It holds the 500 biggest companies in America, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, all of them. Historically, it averages about 10% returns per year over the long term. Some years it's up 20%, some years it's down 10%. But over 20-30 years, it averages around 10%. Let me show you why this matters. If you invest $500 a month starting at age 32, and you do it until you're 65, that's 33 years. You'll put in a total of $198,000 of your own money, but with 10% average returns, that grows to about $1.1 million by retirement. You became a millionaire by putting away $500 a month and being patient. That's the power of compound interest over time. Your money makes money. Then that money makes money. It snowballs. Here's your simple investment plan. So 90% of your money goes into basic index funds. Pick 2 or 3. U.S. total stock market like VTI or VTSX. This is all U.S. companies. International stock market like VEXUS or VTIX. This is companies outside the U.S. Maybe add a small cap fund if you want, but it's not necessary, that's it. Don't overthink it. Just those 2-3 funds cover basically the entire world economy. 10 to 20% can go into other stuff if you want. Maybe a real estate fund, REIT, or bonds if you're more conservative. But honestly, when you're in your 30s, you've got time. Keep it simple with stock index funds. Where do you put this money? Remember those accounts we talked about in point 2? First priority, max out your 401k match at work. That's free money. Second priority, max out your Roth IRA, $7,000 per year, or about $583 per month. Third priority, max out your HSA if you have one, $4,300 per year for single, $8,550 for family. Fourth priority, go back and put more in your 401k. Try to get to 15-20% of your income total. Fifth priority, if you've maxed all those out and still have money, open a regular brokerage account at Fidelity, Vanguard, or Schwab and invest there. Set it to automatic. This is the most important part. Set up automatic investments every month. Money comes out of your checking account, goes into your investment accounts, buys index funds automatically. You never see it. You never have to make a decision. It just happens in the background while you live your life. Let me tell you about Mike. He's 34, lives in Houston, makes $76,000 as an accountant. 5 years ago, he set up his investing on autopilot. Every month, $350 goes to his 401k, gets employer match. $500 goes to his Roth IRA. $200 goes to his HSA. $300 goes to a regular brokerage account total. $350 per month investing automatically. He never thinks about it. It just happens. 5 years later, Mike has $95,000 invested. If he keeps this up until he's 65, he'll have over $2 million. He's on track to retire rich, and he barely thinks about his investments. He checks maybe twice a year. That's it. Important rules to follow. Rule 1. Don't check your accounts every day. The market goes up and down constantly. If you watch it daily, you'll panic when it drops and make stupid decisions. Check once a quarter or even just once a year. Rule 2. When the market crashes, don't sell. The market crashes every few years. It's normal. It always recovers. In fact, crashes are when you're buying stocks on sale. Keep investing through the crashes. That's when you make the most money long term. Rule 3. Don't put all your money in your company's stock. I see this all the time. People love their company, so they put everything in company stock. Then the company has problems and they lose everything. Keep employer stock under 10% of your total investments. Diversify. Rule 4. Keep speculation small. Want to buy some Bitcoin? Fine. Want to buy individual stocks? Okay. But keep all that stuff under 10% of your total investments. The other 90% should be boring index funds. Gamble with 10%, be smart with 90%. What about real estate? Should you buy a house? Should you buy rental properties? For your primary home, only buy if you're going to stay there at least 7 years. If the total payment, mortgage, insurance, taxes, maintenance is 30% or less of your take-home pay, and if buying actually makes more sense than renting in your area. Don't buy just because everyone says you should. Run the numbers. For rental properties, only do it if the numbers make sense as a business. The property should generate at least 8 to 10% cash-on-cash return after all expenses, including setting aside money for repairs and vacancies. If it doesn't, it's not a good investment. Most people lose money on rentals because they don't run the numbers correctly. Protect what you're building. You're building wealth. Now you need to protect it. You need insurance. Not fun to think about, but critical. Life insurance. If you've got a spouse or kids depending on your income, you need term life insurance. Get coverage that's 10-20 times your annual income. So if you make $70,000, get $700,000 to $1.4 million in coverage. Term life insurance is cheap when you're in your 30s. Don't skip this. Disability insurance. What if you get hurt and can't work? Disability insurance pays you if that happens. Look for own occupation coverage if you can get it. Your job might offer this. If not, get your own policy. Umbrella policy. This is extra liability insurance that covers you if you get sued. Get $1 million in coverage. It's cheap, usually around $200–300 per year, and protects everything you're building. Update your will and beneficiaries. Who gets your stuff if something happens to you? Write it down legally. Update the beneficiaries on all your accounts. If you have kids, name guardians. Do this stuff now while you're healthy and thinking clearly. One more thing about lifestyle. As you make more money in your 30s, raises, bonuses, whatever, don't spend it all. This is the trap that keeps people broke forever. They make more, they spend more, they're always broke. Here's the rule. When you get a raise or bonus, invest 70% of it and enjoy 30% of it. So if you get a $5,000 raise per year, that's about $400 more per month after taxes. Invest $280 of it automatically. Enjoy the other $120 guilt-free. You're getting ahead and enjoying life. Let me tell you about Chris and Amy. They're both 33, live in Raleigh, combined income of $140,000. Every time either of them gets a raise, they immediately increase their automatic investments by 70% of the raise. The other 30% goes to their lifestyle. Nicer dinners, better vacations, whatever. Over 5 years, they've increased their investing from $1,200 a month to $2,400 a month. But they also enjoy life more now than 5 years ago. They're not depriving themselves. They're just making sure most of their increased income goes to building wealth instead of bigger car payments and more stuff. Here's your action plan for this week. Action 1. Open investment accounts if you haven't. 401k. At work, Roth IRA at Fidelity, Vanguard, or Schwab. HSA if eligible. Action 2. Choose your index funds. Keep it simple. US total market and international. That's enough. Action 3. Set up automatic monthly investments. Decide how much you can invest every month and automate it. Action 4. Get life insurance if you have dependents. Get disability insurance. Get an umbrella policy. Action 5. Update your will and beneficiaries. Action 6. Commit to the 70-30 rule for future raises. 70% to investing, 30% to lifestyle. Look, investing isn't complicated. People make it complicated to sell you courses and services you don't need. The truth is simple. Buy index funds regularly, automate it, leave it alone for decades, and you'll get rich. That's it. Machiavelli taught that a wise prince doesn't take unnecessary risks. He protects his kingdom and grows his power systematically over time. That's what you're doing with your investments. Simple, systematic, protected, patient. Your 30s are your power decade for wealth building. You've got income, you've got time, and now you've got a plan. Execute this, and by your 50s you'll be financially free while your friends are still stressed about money. Start this week. Set up those accounts. Automate those investments. Protect what you're building. Let time and compound interest do the heavy lifting. That's how normal people become millionaires. Not by gambling or getting lucky. By being boring, consistent, and patient for 20-30 years. Look, I know your 30s are hard. You're juggling a lot. Work, family, bills, stress, it's a lot. But here's what I want you to know. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're exactly where you need to be. And now you have a clear plan to move forward. You don't have to do all of this overnight. Just pick one thing from this video. Maybe it's calling your credit card company this week. Maybe it's signing up for your 401k tomorrow. Maybe it's setting up that automatic savings transfer. Just one thing. Start there. I'm here with you every single day, breaking down exactly what you need to build real wealth in your 30s. No hype, no BS. Just practical steps that actually work. Hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications, because tomorrow I'm bringing you another video that's going to move you one step closer to financial freedom. Your 30s can be the decade that changes everything. Let's build your future together. I believe in you. I'll see you in the next one.